He was,
Yeah, that was a very Roger Corman way to get him in the whole movie, but he was totally shot after. And then how long was his shoot? Was his shoot just like a day? Like is that
a couple hours.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
he met us down at the dried lake bed, which we were using for the planet surface, and he loved the script. He thought it was funny, and we had him in an outfit where he's wearing this skull cap that looked like a bat, and he thought that was cute too. But it was pretty silly. But it was a silly movie.
Was that by design to have the skull cap that looked like a bat, like kind of a sort of an ode to his previous work with?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't make it. I found it in a costume shop or something, but that's why, sure.
Gotcha. And so where did we shoot again? You just said it because I always wonder, was that like outside of Van Nuys or something?
Oh, he's out somewhere in the Southern California in the desert. It was a dry lake bed. I'm not sure which one. There are several around there. Mark Gordon knew the location. He used it for Blazing Force, the first film I worked on for him. That was another one that was too short, and he needed to expand it. So I was hired to write new scenes, and I acted in a couple of them too, and that's where I discovered that location.
Gotcha. Now, do you remember this story from our shoot? Wait, first of all, what I love is I am the alien version of Tyrone Wade. Like nice. I love that. I always tell people, you always know what people think about you when that's the case.
Well, I wanted to go from nerd to muscle man.
Oh no, I love it. I'm your man. I'm your man.
Futuristic glasses, and I put white tape around the middle. It's like a space nerd.
I love it. Do you remember where we ate after our shoot? Do you remember what we ate after our shoot?
No, I don't remember a thing about it.
Mark and my friend Brian Chu came with us because I happened to be we stayed up in LA, and then we did the shoot, and then he and I drove home. We went to this hamburger place that had like everything on the menu, and myself and Mark, I don't think you did this, or maybe you did, we got ostrich burgers.
No. Was it Hamburger Hamlet?
I'm not kidding. This place literally seemed to be out in the middle of nowhere. Like it seemed to be like you guys found this shack that had all this stuff on the menu. And I remember Mark took a bite of the ostrich burger and smiled and says, it tastes like chicken.
That's good ostrich. I don't remember it at all. It wasn't Hamburger Hamlet then, because that was a pretty famous LA place. But he knows, he grew up there. He knew all the places to go. It's probably somewhere out closer to that dry lake bed.
Gotcha. Well, I have one more question. Are you good? Like, everything, physically, are you, because remember we were talking, I'm going to edit this.
I'll plug a couple things.
Okay, cool. I had heard that V-World Matrix came out because a company came to you guys and was like, we have this 3D technology. We want to see how it works. Make a movie around the 3D technology. Number one, is that true? And had that movie come about?
Well, it basically is true. I think that was a deal with Sterling. It wasn't just to see how it worked out. They wanted to have product to sell with so they could sell their 3D system, which was a unique one. I did one, and Tim Sullivan directed another one called Eyes of the Werewolf for that same company. But yeah, V-World Matrix was the one. Tim Sullivan also wrote it, by the way. His script was called Dark Woman, but Dave Sterling wanted to tie it in with The Matrix, and it's a ridiculous little film, but yeah. And the weird thing is that I have this lazy eye, and 3D is totally lost on me. I don't see the effect at all. So.
Okay. Gotcha. I want to say I noticed, but then I've never really paid attention. And I've been around you a fair amount, and I just was kind of like,
I don't know. You maybe can tell it here, but one eye goes a different direction a little bit.
Gotcha.
They had this 3D animation of a submarine going through mines and stuff, and that I had to integrate that in the movie, so that became the opening scene of the movie where the guys were seeing this VR system. and they decide to use it and go on a virtual reality vacation.
So then the idea was they had this 3D setup that they were trying to sell to like filmmakers, and then they would have these films that could show what that 3D was capable of.
No, they're trying to sell to consumers, and then they'd have some product to use the system with, because no one else was making them in that format, and I don't know if they are still or not.
Gotcha. Yeah, I always heard. I remember there was a time when I was working with this one distributor, and he was going to put all these movies that I was doing with him in 3D, and then that kind of just went away. But like 3D never really. You remember how for a while every movie was 3D, even if it was just like a talkie film. That never trickled down to micro budget, lower budget cinema. Like,
yeah, not that I'm aware of. Recently, though, the best film, the most well-received film I ever made was a short animated thing called The Raven, RAVIN.
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
And that won a comedy film festival here, and the guy turned it into a 3D movie, and he keeps telling me he's going to send it to me. I've never seen it in 3D yet. It kind of pisses me off that he's so stuck in his own mindset that he can't be bothered to send me the file. But and I've been promised that for a couple of years.
Well, and that's the funny thing. That's another thing that you bring up. When you and I first met, we would think nothing of sending a videotape or videotapes in the mail. Or, hey, Ron, I need to get you a script. I'm going to go print it out. I'm then gonna put it in the mail. Like, people, like, we do none of that now.
No.
If I want to get you a script, I go on my computer and you have the script. I could send you everything I've ever written, and it would probably be less than a couple of megabytes.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. Yeah, that's how it was. And I always made sure every movie I made that everybody involved in it got a tape of the movie. And everyone promised that, nobody delivered. But I hated that. I'd act in people's movies and never get to see it. So I made vowed that I would never do that. To this day, I go to I can't remember, Konaki, and have them crank out cheap DVDs that I can send to the cast and crew, so everybody gets a copy of the movie.